Set up correctly here. What's going on, everybody? Just make sure we can see me. Boom. All right. North Cali, what's going on? What's going on? Guys, so we're gonna wait for everybody to get in here, and then we're gonna go ahead and start the live stream for today. We're only gonna be doing a 30-minute live stream. I actually have some family I just found out is in town, so we're gonna go eat dinner and all that tonight. But yeah, let's talk about cruise stuff. I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything like that, but I'll do my best to answer them, and we can go from there. Wait for a couple people to get into the house, and we'll go ahead and get started. How's everybody doing? Stone Mountain, Georgia. Stone Mountain, where is it at? How far is that from Atlanta? All right. Wait for people to come in. Sorry, guys, I should have let everybody know earlier. I had planned on doing a 5 o'clock live stream, and I lost track taking care of some business, and here we are, 20 minutes east of Atlanta. Man, that might as well be Atlanta. Happy New Year from St. Louis. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's having a good 2021 so far. Hopefully things are better this year around as opposed to 2020. We'll see. We will see. All right, I'll wait for some more people to get in. We'll go ahead and get started. Yep, I know everybody's still wondering what's going on with the cruise stuff, test sailings and all that. I still do think we're going to hear something about the test sailings probably either sometime this week or sometime next week. So, first time catching you live. I'm just thankful for the cruise 2 weeks before the shutdown. Love your channel. Oh, that's good. You were able to catch a cruise before that. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I really do. It means a lot. You have no idea. San Francisco. Wow. Good to see all of you guys here. It really means the world to me. So yeah, you know, with everything going on with cruising right now, like I said, I do believe that we would potentially hear something about the test sailings because, I mean, that's been all the hype, and that's the only thing we're waiting to hear about, really, as far as cruising in 2021. I do think, like I said, we're going to hear something maybe this week or next week from probably, I think, maybe Royal Caribbean first, since they were the most vocal about it for at least one point in time. And then maybe we'll hear from NCL or, you know, Carnival, because obviously if that doesn't happen, we can't do anything else. What happened to you going out of the country? Did I miss something? Yeah, so I was talking to my girlfriend, and we decided to have me stay here because with everything going on with the lockdowns and whatnot, if I go out there and I get stuck out there, I can't come back and see my son, and it would just be a whole nother problem. So we're going to wait out this month and see how it all goes down. If the lockdowns are looking pretty bad, because from my understanding, they're going to be locking down over in the UK again, mid-February, something like that, we're going to have to make a decision. Either I'm going to have to go over there and figure it all out, or I'm going to stay here a little bit longer. So I'm just trying to figure out what the best option is right now. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, it sucks. Trust me, it really does. I mean, I'm a little heartbroken, you know, but what can you do? I mean, it's like, yeah, I love my girlfriend, but at the same time, to go over there and get stuck there would not be ideal, to say the least, you know. Hey Rob, how's it going? Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Sorry to hear about your situation. The UK enters is the hardest lockdown effective from tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like for me to fly over there right now, or how I was going to last week, it would have been problematic at some point, you know, as far as me getting home. As of right now, if I were to go to the UK and try to come back, they say that at the least I would need a COVID test. I think it was what, 3 days prior to me taking my flight back to the US. But for all we know, that could all change. You know, these lockdowns and whatnot, I think it's going to be interesting these next couple months. So I'm just trying to figure out the best thing that's going to, you know, be good for myself, my family, my girlfriend, everybody involved. So if my girlfriend has to hold out a little bit longer to see me, you know, we got to do what we got to do. I mean, there unfortunately are people that are married and have kids together and stuff that are dealing with far worse than me and her are. So what are you going to do? And I know a lot of people are still waiting to hear about what's going on with cruising because we really haven't heard anything yet this year. I think this, you know, the cruise lines are probably going to be settling into the new year. And I think, like I said, potentially this week we'll probably hear something because honestly, they can't keep the public in the dark for too long. That's my personal opinion. But we've seen it. We've seen cruise lines just kind of go dark for a little while and not say anything, not give any updates or anything like that. But you know, I'm doing the best I can to keep digging and find out what's going on, but there hasn't been any crazy updates other than last week with NCL canceling until March. But all of that was kind of expected. So thanks, Rob. Yeah, if you guys are here, we only got, well, we got 57 people here. We only got 8 likes. If you guys hit the like button if you're joining in, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, also check out our store with Salty Maroon too. Hope so. I want my job back. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of friends that work on cruise ships, and they're all still patiently waiting too. You know, there's some people, only a few, that have either gotten contacted by their cruise lines, and a lot of people are just kind of just waiting to see, to hear anything at all. A lot of my friends that work on cruise ships, even over in the Philippines, they haven't heard anything at all. You know, so they're kind of waiting too to see how all of this is going to pan out. Hopefully, we're going to hear something sooner rather than later. I mean, at least with the test sailings, I think that's literally the only news we want right now. You know what I mean? The cruise lines can confirm all they want about or leave, even on their websites, have sailings that are in March. But if they don't give any info and if they don't start the test sailings, we're kind of dead in the water right now. So I don't know. We're all got to be patient. See, what are my chances of cruising in May? I could see cruising in May. I think if everything goes according to plan, we could see something potentially happen maybe like this month. Like I said, we need the test sailings. But if the test sailings happen in February, then we won't see cruising until like April or May, roughly around that time. What is that? There are 18 ships on the west coast at anchor. The clans are gathering. Yeah, they're gathering for something. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The West Coast, there's a lot going on right now over on the West Coast. I couldn't see cruising happening over there, but what do I know? At the end of the day, I'm still just a normal guy that just kind of goes in depth and tries to get as much information as I can. So who knows? They may know something about California. You got any info from the NCL crew? Nothing major. Nothing major at all. I got friends that work at the creative studios for like all the entertainment and stuff. They've been contacted about potential rehearsals and whatnot, but that's it. Nothing major. I'm in contact with somebody on entertainment staff for Princess, and they're on hold until March 31st. Wow. Now, on hold, Tom, are you saying as far as hold like before rehearsals, or hold as far as being able to get on the ship? What's a good first cruise? Carnival. If you don't like cruising, I would say don't spend all your money on some crazy cruise. Maybe just get a bargain cruise, something with Carnival. See how you enjoy it, and then understand that it could be leveled up from there, like the quality of the cruise. Definitely Carnival if you're in the United States. Vaccine required to cruise. It'll probably be a thing. I can't see it going any other way at this point. You know, it'd be the vaccine situation, and then the cruise lines will have limited occupancy levels on board as well. I couldn't see it going any other way. Same at Royal. As far as what, being contacted? Like I said, I have friends that work with most of these cruise lines, at least the major ones, and I try to communicate with them. They've been kind of just sitting dead in the water right now. They haven't heard anything major. Not lately. Hello from West Palm Beach. Do you think Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line stands a chance of surviving? That's a big deal, you know, because technically, I think last time we heard they were selling one of their ships. They got 2 ships. If that's the case, I don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't know how all that's going to go with Bahamas Paradise. They could go under. We haven't heard anything recently from them. I got to do some research and see what's going on. I mean, if anything, if they don't go under, they could be one of the first ships to sail still. First cruise lines to sail. So, I mean, they've been quiet. I got to look them up and see what's going on with that. What is that? You're lucky we are in full lockdown now. Why is that? Oh, as far as not coming to London? Yeah, so I'm not coming over there, unfortunately. Mary Lou, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. As you guys know, as always, whenever people donate to my channel, I really appreciate it. I might set up a Patreon sometime this year, maybe earlier in the year, just so you guys, whoever wants to donate or whatnot, can do so. Because the thing about the super chats, YouTube does take a percentage out of it. I think it's like 30 or 40%. So yeah, and I'm not trying to speak from that from a greedy mindset, but I just know a lot of people want to support the channel. So I'm going to figure out another way, whether it be Patreon or like another donating app or something like that. I'll figure it out and I'll let you guys know. They won't know anything until March 31st as to what happens yet. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. I think a lot of people are just kind of being left in the dark until March. You know, we won't know if sailing's going to happen until it actually does. But I think, like I said, the focus is going to be without a doubt on these test sailings. And if we don't hear anything about it, then you can't expect cruising to happen. At least, you know, whenever test sailings do happen, rather, you can expect if everything goes according to plan with the test sailings, maybe 2 months or so after that, they may really start about actually having cruises. But it's going to be a while. Today, Philippines banned all crew changes from the U.S. Wow, I didn't know that. and 20 other countries for January. It's very disruptive to international crewing and forward planning. Wait, so have you seen an article on that at all? Because I mean, that would definitely be something to talk about. Because if the crew are being halted as far as being able to go overseas, then the cruise lines can't have the crew members that they need on board. And if they don't have the essential, not even the essential, if they don't have full crew that are supposed to be on the ships when they sail, then they can't even do the testing. You know what I mean? So if you have an article or something like that, I'd really like to read it. If you can, maybe pin it in one of my comments or email it to me, I appreciate it. I heard Royal Caribbean is trying to get the Anthem of the Seas crew together. Yeah, every cruise line right now is trying to get all their crew together. Should they start notifying crew for test sailings? Yeah, I mean, honestly, not even notifying crew. If they're going to do the test sailings, they should have already had the crew on by now. And from my understanding, I don't know if there's even a single crew that's cruise ship operating in the United States that has all of their staff and crew on board as of yet. I could be wrong because obviously I'm not on any of these ships. All of this is all hearsay and what other crew members are talking about. But, the thing is, a crew member could be not lying, but they could just not have, factual information. So I just go based off of what I hear from people. If I hear that a ship is fully staffed, which I have not heard, obviously it'd be another story, another situation to talk about, but I haven't heard that yet. I read from a Disney blogger, it looks like Disney Cruise Lines has removed all March sailings and bookings from the webpage. I'll check, and if that's the case, I'll talk about it tomorrow. Holland America ships going to Alaska is in San Diego. What do you make of what do you make of that? Please advise. I mean, I really got to dig into that. Honestly, I mean, everybody's talking about a couple of ships heading over to California area, but California, as most of you know, is might as well be on lockdown. I don't see cruising happening there anytime soon, but who knows? The cruise lines can know something that we all don't. Either that or they're just being extremely optimistic, or they don't have anywhere else to put the ships because there may be a limited amount of ships that are allowed over in Florida off the coast and all that too as well. So, or maybe they're just trying to position them for, I hope not, position the ships for like the next couple months. I would hope they're not going over to California now just to keep the ships there until April or March. That wouldn't be, I don't know, productive or beneficial for the cruise lines. Have you heard anything about the performers? That's the least of their worries. I'm curious. They sold the ship. I was scheduled to perform one, which happened to be my first contract. What ship was that? If you don't mind me asking, what ship were you supposed to work on? So, I mean, you see the ships getting sold left and right. And like I said, at least to my knowledge, as far as the test sailings, I don't know about a single ship right now that is fully staffed and ready to do the test sailings. Cruise lines are pre-positioned and quiet, honestly, hedging. Yeah, I mean, I believe it. Of course, I think right now the cruise ships are trying to stake out and just trying to get the ships set to where they need to be somewhere in the United States. And more than likely, of course, it's going to be probably Florida and California until they get all this craziness figured out. But either way, I'm just surprised. If cruise ships are sailing over from, let's say, parts of Europe and Asia and other parts of the world just to sit here for the next couple months, I don't know what to say on that one. I really don't. Strain in UK. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard about the new strain. Oh, you were on Majesty of the Seas? I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, hopefully, if that's the case, then as an entertainer, they'll probably position you in another ship. But I know how it is with the entertainment. Like, there's only set shows that they can, produce on these ships. So if you're on a set show, then chances are they may not even, unfortunately, either have a position available for you anymore. It's a crappy time for entertainers. It's a crappy time for all the crew all around because nobody knows what's going on. Let's see, what was that? Royal still has on their website, they're sending Harmony to Barcelona. Yeah, I heard about that one. That I know. I heard from a travel agent that the cruise ships are in California to get approval from the CDC so they can do their test sailings. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know there was a deadline, of course, toward the end of last year of 2020, that the cruise ships did have to be in position in order to get even the start approval to do the test sailings. But the issue that I know a lot of cruise lines are facing right now is that they're not being staffed. The cruise ships have to be fully staffed with the crew that are going to be sailing with paying passengers in order to even start the test sailings. And like I said, to my knowledge, I don't know if any cruise ships out there are really fully staffed at this point in time. I could be wrong, but who knows at this point? Like I said, we got to wait until potentially this week or next week, this coming week, next week to find out what's really going on. Mardi Gras in Barcelona, or at least, yeah, I know I read an article about that today. I'll probably mention it in my video tomorrow, but yeah, that's the Mardi Gras is over in Barcelona, and eventually, I'm assuming we'll probably be headed to the U.S. Was that Andrew Strasburg? What is that? Hey Jay, what do you think of the three major players starting European sailings and allowing U.S. citizens this summer? Lift and shifted my Harmony of the Seas sailing to June out of Spain. I mean, honestly, I think it's great. I mean, at this point too, depending on how things go with the vaccine, because things haven't exactly been completely straightened out over in Europe either. Europe could potentially start sailing, but way before the U.S. At this rate. We could see sailings, maybe in March or April, something like that, over in Europe, and then we might have to wait a little longer to see sailings go out in the U.S. So we'll see. Ovation of the Seas wasn't fully staffed. I haven't heard anything about Ovation of the Seas. I mean, unless you know something that I don't, at least to my knowledge. Like I said, I have friends that work for these cruise lines, but I don't have somebody on every single ship. So, what was that, Rob? Honestly, don't think they will let the U.S. citizens come over due to high numbers out there. Yeah, I think even if they get the virus under control over in the United Kingdom, yeah, I missed that one. If they get it under control in the United Kingdom, I still doubt they're going to let Americans or anybody for that matter that isn't part of the European Union or in the UK still sail. They might let us go over there to go visit, but we probably can't sail because if a problem happens on board the ship and they got to repatriate everybody and send everybody home, it's going to be another problem. Yeah, you're right, Rob. I agree. I definitely agree with that one. It's now looking like a 90-day scenario at minimum, including 30 days to prepare for the test sailings. Yeah. I mentioned that in my video yesterday. I know like I had an article talking about 60 days, but honestly, like I said, I don't agree with that. If you guys didn't see that video, I do believe that 90 days at minimum would be the time frame that we see cruising actually happen. So 3 months from now, minimum. That's at minimum. When cruising is back to normal, which I believe it will, would you go back on a ship? Not to work. I wouldn't mind going back to do like reviews if you guys would want to see that. I'll probably just do some type of episodes on board the ship, reviews, and show people around like the ports and whatnot. Show people a different side to cruising. That would probably be ideal for my next move. What do you think about women in deck office? I think women can do whatever they want, I mean, I'm not somebody that believes that a man and woman should be doing certain things. Naturally, I do believe that men and women are, biologically better at doing things than others, but working on a cruise ship in a certain position, I don't see why not, especially in the deck, like a deck officer or captain or anything like that. I mean, usually I think it's scientifically proven that women are just better at numbers and calculation, so who knows? They might be better than men than at those positions, to be honest with you. So let's see. You think March will reserve for test cruises? I hope, I really, really do hope that the test sailings don't go back that far. I really do. So I take it they haven't even did the test cruises yet. Yeah, like I said, guys, when it comes to the test cruises, the issue is we haven't seen an announcement or anything about it. The general public hasn't heard any information about it. Now, what could be happening, which I kind of hope on one end, I hope that the cruise lines have at least started their first phase of the test sailings, because the way it works, they have to do the test sailings with just the crew first, right? And it hasn't been determined on how exactly it's going to work, but from my understanding, they may have to go somewhere, even if it's a cruise to nowhere, if they allow it, because they can't go to any ports, whether it be a private island or anything like that. I would hope that they would, make the crew have to, or just do the test sailings with the crew and then eventually announce that, oh, we've been doing these test sailings and now we're getting ready to take passengers or volunteers as well. I would hope. I mean, I hope that's what's happening right now. I don't think so, but we don't know, us the general public, we don't know everything that's going on within the cruise ship industry. There's always some stuff going on behind closed doors that we don't know about until it probably already happened. So what was that? C. Johnson, there must be a problem with this site and Viking Cruise Line. I have posted about them starting up again on April 1st. Wow, I have to dig into that. Viking, we haven't heard from them in a while. I remember they were one of the first cruise lines to shut down last year. I have to do some digging on that. Thanks for letting me know that. On a lighter note, what was your favorite port when you were working on the ship? Bermuda. Hands down, Bermuda. So Bermuda, when I was working with NCL, that was the only port that we would stay there for 3 days. So I got to really see the island, go look around, have a good time. It was a good time. Bermuda for sure, and it's beautiful too. Now it's expensive, but it's worth the trip for sure. Flu season needs to move over so we can begin the test sailings. I don't think the flu season is the issue. I mean, obviously the virus and the pandemic is a huge issue. The vaccine's an issue. The governments are an issue. We need all of that stuff to get out of the way, not just the flu season, unfortunately. What was your favorite cruise ship? So I got to go on Symphony of the Seas for a little bit. My friend worked on Symphony of the Seas, and we happened to be in Canada in port together. So she let me go on the ship. I mean, I didn't get to sail on her, but I was amazed by that ship. I had a couple hours just to kind of walk around the ship and see all the stuff, you know, like the indoor skydiving and everything that was on board. And I was like, man, you know what? I'd really like to take a cruise on that ship. So yeah, definitely. I would love to go on that ship or one of the bigger Royal Caribbean ships because I haven't actually sailed on them. What was that? I read from the crew that 275 Filipino crew recently joined Norwegian Spirit, putting the ship well above the minimum manning levels, estimates around 350 to 400 crew on the ship. Wow, okay. Oh, I hope that's true. I really do. I mean, you know, the Spirit, at least my, yeah, if I remember correctly, that's a smaller ship. So that would be great. I mean, if the cruise lines are manning the smaller ships to that level, I hope they're doing the same for their larger ships. But who knows? At this point, the smaller ships could potentially be the focus for the cruise lines, or maybe they're putting that many people on the Norwegian Spirit. That way they can transfer them from the Norwegian Spirit to the other vessels as well. You know, like I said, at this point, we never really know. I know the cruise lines have been doing that as far as like putting all the crew on one ship in order to transfer them from one location to the other, since obviously transferring on land is a little bit harder. But at this point, you know, it hasn't been confirmed. I don't think the cruise lines will ever kind of put that information out. But I just know for a fact that's what they've been doing. So that could be the situation with the Norwegian Spirit. Viking Cruise Lines is a high-end cruise line, and the first cruise ship out has an onboard lab to test everybody. Wow, there's a video about this. Okay, wow, I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know. I'm gonna look that up. Vikings are talking about sea sailing only cruises. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. And they wanted to pass it by customers' opinion. What was that? Could work on 1 week cruises. That'd be nice. I'll have to look into that. Thanks for letting me know that about Viking. I wasn't aware. I'm patiently waiting to pick up my assignment in MSC Cruise Lines. I hopefully do soon. I really do. I mean, I know MSC, they've been doing pretty well over in Europe. Hopefully they can keep the momentum going. Royal Caribbean mega ships are awesome. Done Oasis class ships 3 times and looking forward to my next sailing on board one of those vessels. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my first one. I've seen those ships. They look amazing. They really do. Do you think my cruise will happen in August on Navigator of the Seas? I don't see why not. I mean, August is a little ways away. It just depends. Honestly, I think, you know, cruising will probably be happening by then. It just depends on how the cruise lines decide to go at this whole phased-in approach that they keep talking about. So when they do come back, the cruise lines obviously aren't going to bring out the whole fleet. It's going to be a ship-by-ship basis. So it just depends on what ship they decide to release. It also depends on what itineraries are available as well. I'm probably going to talk about this in another video because these are definitely factors that people may not have like really considered. If we don't have any ports to sail over to, let's say the Bahamas doesn't approve cruising, or, you know, Barcelona or any of these places don't approve cruising, the cruise lines have nowhere to go, and every cruise ship can't do a cruise to nowhere. So we'll see. What did you do with NCL? I was a breakdancer and an acrobat in a Broadway show called After Midnight. It's good times too, good times. By the way, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, we got 112 people in here so far, and we only got 54 likes. So I would really appreciate it, guys. It would help with YouTube and help my channel out tremendously. You have no idea. Let's see. Thumbs up. Do you know any crew who are on any of the few lines that are sailing in Italy, Singapore, etc.? How is it for them? Yeah, so I have a friend that is in Singapore on, I just had a brain fart. What ship is that? The Royal Caribbean ship that's over there. So my friend Emily, which I don't talk to that often, I asked her a couple times of what's going on in the ship. She's over there in Singapore right now. So Quantum, thank you. I had a brain fart, but yeah, she's on Quantum of the Seas over there. And you know, the last time I talked to her was when they had that whole COVID, you know, that false positive situation. That was the last time I talked to her over there. But you know, at the time she told me she was worried because she thought that everybody was going to get stuck on the ship, but you know, obviously I think that ship is back up and operating now. So at least I know for a fact she's still on that ship. I actually got to reach out to her, see if I can get some information. I just don't want to come off as spammy because we only did a couple of shows together a couple years back. So I don't want to be that guy that's like, yo, give me some information. You know what I mean? So, but I will reach out to her and see what's going on with that. What was that? Do you miss working on the cruise ship? Yeah, of course I do. It was freedom. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have been on a cruise before. Imagine living there. Like, I worked on the cruise ship. I just didn't have the harsh environment that a lot of the other crew members had. Like, I was only working 2 days a week. I had room service. I had all the ports off, you know. And I was able to go into the guest area. So I had a completely different experience than the rest of the crew did. So yeah, of course I miss it. It was a good time. What's that? C. Johnson? Hey Jay, it's been a long time since we spoke. I'm still planning on coming to Florida in June. I'll get my first inoculation in inoculation in 2 weeks. If you come to Florida, let me know. We can grab a beer or something. I don't know what you drink, but yeah, I'm down. Just let me know. That's to everybody. Anybody ever comes out to Florida, like near Tampa, just reach out to me. Send me an email or something. If I'm free, I'm definitely down to hook up and talk. You know. Let's see. Do you think Carnival will sail out of Galveston this year? I have a cruise in August. That's. I mean, I could see it in this year. It's a matter of when, right? Because we still got to keep in mind of the phased in approach. That's going to be the big deciding factor. The phased in approach and the destinations that the cruise lines are allowed to go to, because that will determine what ports are open up. There's only so many, parts of the Caribbean that may approve cruising. You know what I mean? The Bahamas may allow it, or you know what I mean? It depends really, right? Because like St. Martin might say no cruising, Bahamas might say okay, and that only gives the cruise lines a limited amount of destinations they can go to. They don't have destinations, they don't have itineraries. They don't have itineraries, they can't sail. I hope you will return to working on a cruise ship and becoming a cruise director. People say that a lot. I don't think I would ever become a cruise director, to be honest with you guys. That's not in the cards for me. I don't have a dream of it. I mean, I've seen how much those guys work. There was a guy when I was working for NCL, Alvin. And I'm not gonna lie to you, he didn't do that great at it, but I saw the workload, and to me, it just depends. The money would really, really, really have to be worth it, because these, I don't know if I could do that. End of story. I used to work on Jewel of the Seas and Oasis of the Seas, but now MSC. What's the difference? So which one do you like better? Like, what are some of the differences that you saw between MSC and Royal Caribbean? And which one's your favorite out of MSC and Royal Caribbean? For a lot of the crew, it's going to be very hard work. No ports of call or crew bar, wearing masks all day. I mean, I would hope that they lax up a little bit on the rules by the time they actually start sailing, because I think the overall mental stress of the crew members on board is not going to be that great if they can't get off at any ports of call, and if they can't go to the crew bar, or even if they have limited crew bar. You know what I mean? So I think it's definitely going to be an issue. And I really hope the cruise lines do take that into consideration, because if the mental crew overall and the morale overall for the crew isn't well, the customers and the passengers obviously won't have a great experience on board. So I really do hope they're taking that into consideration. Why don't you give us a breakdancing show? I'll have to one of these days. Maybe I'll go on one of the ports or something like that and do like a little show. I mean, nobody really asked me about it. I do something every now and then for people, but yeah, maybe I'll put on a show. Why not? Before I get too old. I know I gotta be careful with the age. A lot of people don't like when I bring up the age situation, but yeah, the life of a dancer is short. So yeah, I might give you guys a show. Why not? We'll see. Lots of cruise reports and even packs on YouTube videos on the Quantum in Singapore. Not a huge amount of difference. Social distancing, mask off, staff served, buffets, parties, gatherings, max up to 50% capacity. Yeah, I would imagine that, especially over there in Asia, because apparently they're doing pretty well with this whole pandemic. I would imagine that's how it's going to be like regularly on cruise. As soon as things get under control, the cruise lines are probably going to sail at max 50% capacity. But that'll probably be the gist of it, to be honest with you guys, until this whole pandemic almost completely goes away. The cruise lines are going to have to definitely err on the side of caution. They'll have to just kind of go from there. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I could see maybe 50, 60 at the most capacity until this whole thing is completely under control. Was that, I hope I'm not saying your name wrong. Is it Nessacake? I don't know. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, but thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As always, guys, the super chats and the donations for the channel is extremely, it means a lot. It really does. Especially in these times. You guys have no idea. All these ships are beautiful. I enjoy Oasis of the Seas. I don't spend much time with MSC because of the pandemic. Yeah. I mean, this whole thing has just completely destroyed I guess the vibe of cruising. Like everybody's kind of been put into a weird place, and when cruising comes back, the reputation is going to have to be built back up. There's so many things that are going to have to happen for cruising whenever it actually does return. It's going to be a long road, a big tall mountain to climb for the cruise lines. So we'll see. By the way, guys, I'm going to get out of here in like 1 minute. Like I said, I got family in town. I got to go visit. My cousin just surprised me from Chicago, so I'm going to go get dinner with him tonight, and we're going to go from there, all right? Let's see. Do you think a vaccine will be a priority for crew members? Yeah. Yeah, cruise lines have already talked about it. That's nothing new. Yeah, it'll be a priority, and probably for the guests as well. I just started my contract as it shut down. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully they contract you back whenever they actually start back up. I hate that not many ships are registered with the CDC, since every ship has to do this. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I think, of course, like the ones that I guess get a pass, and pass the CDC loophole, they're probably going to be the lucky ones. So we'll see. MSC did well with their sailings in Europe, best the big four. That's great to hear. Hopefully they continue to do well. What was that? Hey Jay, can you help me out with some sort of protocols that we are to have before we go into cruise in 2021? As far as what exactly? I mean, I think as far as the protocols, it's literally everything that you would expect. Temperature checks, all that other temperature checks, social distancing, mask. But until the CDC puts out all of the regulations that they need, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't. But let's see. Good. Just finished my shot. At risk of sounding conspiratorial or political, do you think cruise lines have particularly been singled out as the industry as they've been perceived as bad for the environment? Yeah, definitely. I think nobody can argue that. Cruise lines have been singled out for sure. But hopefully things turn around at some point. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't plan on doing a 30-minute live stream, but I do have to get out of here. I got to go visit my family. I'm actually surprised my cousin was here. Didn't know. They're trying to do a surprise dinner, so I actually got to go shower and stuff and get ready to head out. But I appreciate you guys tuning into the live stream. I will have another video out tomorrow, and then, of course, we'll do another weekly live stream. C. Johnson, thank you so much for the super chat last minute. I appreciate it. I can never ask a black man to dance. I like that. Anyway, guys, you take care of yourselves. I hope all of you guys are doing well. Stay safe, social distance, all that other good stuff, and I'll see you later, all right? Take care, guys. Thank you.